I feel like this might be ill-advised. But hey, let's have a go. It's been a week, cold week, and I've been out in it. Excited, excited to have something like a an income, like income, like day job, like. I've been manning a stand for La Talaye up in Haverstraw. That's where the restaurant's at, but they do a market stall at a bunch of the different farmers markets around here. So yeah, I've been the go-to. Here's a Yankee. Here's a white boy who's a little more cold resistant than your average Haitian. Um, yeah, wonderful Caribbean fusion food, bunch of empanadas. Come on down and see me at the Nyack Farmers Market from 10 to 1 in lovely downtown Nyack on Thursdays, and then up in Cold Spring on Saturdays, 10 to 1, and also down in Ramsey, New Jersey on Sundays, 10 to 1. La Talaye, empanadas. More empanadas than you can shake a stick at, and boy, have I been shaking that stick. Let's shake a stick across a fiddle, you know? Let's make some noise. Let's have some music, shall we? I'm gonna pick a card, and that card says, "Hey y'all, what's up? It's gonna be St. Patrick's Day soon." Um, hmm. Yeah, I know some jigs. You wanna know? You wanna hear some jigs? Let's play some jigs. I wonder if I tuned my fiddle when I got it out of the case earlier. Sounds good. So this is two. This will be a set of two jigs. They are Banish Misfortune, which is three parts, key of D, and Gillian's Apples, key of G, second one, two parts, two parts. Sleep is key, friends. I remember when it didn't seem to matter back when I was a 20 something. Those days are past. Okay, maybe St. Patrick's Day will be all right. It's been a while since, gigs, and there's a couple of them, couple of like auxiliary to St. Patrick's Day gigs. Nothing on the day. I think we're observing the day as come on St. Patrick's. Come on, St. Patrick, come and chase these snakes out of Ireland. Come on. Mm. Hey y'all, missed ya. Still, it's turning out to be a long convalescence here in the coronavirus planet. Here is ballads and shanties. Ballads and shanties. Oh my. Maybe we should continue with the St. Patrick's Day. I kind of love having the light on me. It feels like I'm in an interrogation. What was the ballad and shanty that you were singing on the first day of... Yeah, here's a ballad that I'm supposed to do when it's St. Patrick's Day. Kitschy, and it'll be, it's an old broadside ballad. Come, single bell and bow, and to me pay attention. Don't ever fall in love, for it's the devil's own invention. Oh, once I fell in love with a maiden most bewitching, Miss Henrietta Bell, down in Captain Kelly's kitchen, with a tooraloorala, with a tooralooraladdie, with a tooraloorala, with a tooralooraladdie. From the age of 17, I was prenticed to a grocer, way down in Stephen's Green, where Miss Henry used to go, sir. Her manners were sublime, she set my heart a-twitching, and she invited me to a hoolie in the kitchen, with a tooraloorala, with a tooralooraladdie, with a tooraloorala, with a tooralooraladdie. Next Sunday being the day that we was to have the flare-up, I dressed myself most gay, and I frizzed and oiled my hair up. The captain had no wife, and he had gone out fishing, so I kicked myself most lively down below stairs in the kitchen, with a tooraloorala, with a tooralooraladdie, with a tooraloorala, with a tooralooraladdie. With her arms around me waist, she slyly hinted marriage, when with true and dreadful haste here came Captain Kelly's carriage. Her eyes still Her eyes soon filled with hate, and a poison she was spittin', when the captain passed the gate and came right up to the kitchen, with a tooraloorala, with a tooralooraladdie, with a tooraloorala, with a tooralooraladdie. The captain came downstairs, and he saw me situation. In spite of all me prayers, I was lashed out to the station. They would not set me bail, and to get out I was itching, so I had to tell the tale of how I came into the kitchen, with a tooraloorala, with a tooralooraladdie, with a tooraloorala, with a tooralooraladdie. I said she didn't invite me, but she gave a flat denial. Of assault she did indict me, and I was stood for trial. She swore I robbed the house, in spite of all her scritching, and I got 6 months hard for me carting in the kitchen, with a tooraloorala, with a tooralooraladdie, with a tooraloorala. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can edit that last bit in, because we were going so well. And that was my dad. My dad came up to ask if I knew anyone who taught the saxophone. Anybody out there teach the saxophone? I don't know. Hey, last time we got together, while I'm talking about farmers markets and such, I made a big deal of how great my coffee was, and then I just totally did not give a plug to good people I know, because I was ashamed and I could not remember their name. I couldn't remember if it was exotic or exquisite coffee. And when I went to look it up, neither of those came up because it's letter X. Exquisite. Exquisite. Check them out. I see them at the Cold Spring Market. I've seen them at the Tarrytown Market. She's from Honduras, and her people, her family, actually grow the beans. You can't get much more direct than that unless you're growing them in a hothouse behind your home. Anyway, their Ethiopian is just magnificent. And here's to that. All right. Is this late? It's too much. I won't do that again. I just kind of like it. Maybe it makes me feel like it's summer and I'm in the blazing sun. Maybe that's it. I'm tired of my cave life. Anyway, let's do another. Shall we have some music? I think we shall. Okay, you ready? Here's... Oh. Guess what? It's gonna be St. Patrick's Day. Let's just do all the St. Patrick's Day tunes. That's actually funny. I shuffle those cards. I do. Very well. I know you don't believe me. Key D, this is a set that a lot of people do at sessions. We used to do it at the NIAC session. And I hate it. Or rather, the two tunes, like a lot of sets of tunes, are made because, the next tune sort of has reference to the tune before it. Like it takes something from the other one and develops it. It just feels like it comments on the first tune. And in this case, they're just too similar. Like I mess them up sometimes because one of them is just, they're just too alike in my fingers. We'll see if I get it right. Did I say what they were? Boys of Blue Hill and Harvest Home, key of D. Here we go. D. those were all right, right? They were fun. They were jaunty. I don't know why I don't like them. um, Sometimes I think people don't like tunes because they're such beginner tunes, and those are sort of, I don't know, they're not beginner, but they're kind of basic. I usually don't. I usually feel that beginner tunes are great and that you should love them and enjoy them. And if they're too easy, then you trick them up and make them better. But for some reason, those, they just, I don't know. They seem like basic piano pieces, like finger exercise etudes to me. And here's the next card, and apparently we're just solidly gonna be doing St. Patrick's Day. The cards are calling the shots today. So let's enjoy. Usually when I wrote that card, Irish airs, I was thinking a lot about Carolyn O'Carolyn tunes. Turlough O'Carolyn was a character in the 1700s in Ireland. He was a blind harper, and his patroness put him on a horse and sent him out. Here you go. Here's a horse who knows the way. The horse will take you to the various wealthy nobles in the countryside at whose castles you will entertain and make a name for yourself, and I guess enough cash to get drunk, because hey, O'Carolyn. So now that I've said that, what O'Carolyn tune? There's a one I've been thinking of lately, maybe because I've been nostalgic, and this one is very strongly I learned it in the late 90s when I was broadening my fiddle diet from more than just reels and jigs. And yeah, I had a few more complicated airs, but this one was just so pretty. It's called Blind Mary, and it's one blind man's song about a fellow blind person, a lady named Mary. And it's in D, and it's slow. Yes, that's pretty. What more to say? I like those Carolyn tunes. They sort of do double duty every once in a while if I pick the Ren Fair cards, because yeah, they're not quite Renaissance, but yeah, they're Renaissance. They're not quite classical, that's for sure, but they are composed. They occupy a place uh, in the repertoire that's different than reels and jigs. Anyway, at last, something that's not Irish. Do I know any Irish jug band tunes? No. I mean, sure, I could interpret, but why not do a jug band tune? Key G. Went up to Chicago to work in the yard. Coming back to East Jackson, Lord, the times grow hard. But now she's gone, no, I don't worry. Say I'm sitting on top of the world. From Nacogdoches way down to old El Paso. Every step of the way, hollering, darling, I love you so. But now she's gone. No, I don't worry. Say I'm sitting on top of the world. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Find me a lover, Lord, yes, that a man can trust. Now she's gone, no, I don't worry. Sitting on top of the world. Yes, yes. So yeah, a lot of people know that one from old Eric Clapton, huh? Yeah. Original version was in the 20s, and it was Sitting on Top of the World by the Mississippi Sheiks, who were amazing. They were a jug band for sure. They did all kinds of stuff. They did waltzes. They did all kinds of blues. I recorded in the 20s. Who else did a great one? Well, it's on a Bob Dylan album, actually, one that he did entirely of traditional stuff. Good As I've Been to You. There might even be two of those albums. I think it was the first one. it is definitely related. Like the flesh hangs on the same skeleton as Robert Johnson's "Come On in My Kitchen." And whenever I play it, I sort of hear in the background, I hear Cassandra Wilson's version of that, which, man, excellent. Hey, I'm talking a lot. Oh gosh. All right, here we go. We don't want to deviate too far from the program. Irish, Orsh reels. Let's have some Orsh reels. Yeah, I think most of the Irish tunes I've done today have been ones I started out doing back in the 90s, back before I altered my focus to more old-timey Appalachian stuff. So here's another one that was sort of a Court Square tune. But also shout out to Celtic Blend, with whom I'll be doing a gig or two, and Peggy in particular. Me and Peggy, we need to do this one. We need to remember this one, and I need to remember not to start it too fast, because then by the time we get to the second tune, it's just crazy, stupid fast. 2 tunes, both of them in D, although the second one gravitates around an E minor, to the best of my understanding. And they are The Maid Behind the Bar and Cooley's Reel. Right? wow, I smell cigarettes. You know what I mean? Like that was such a flashback to bars in the 90s when they smoked indoors. And it wasn't lovely, but it was definitely memorable. How about that? Yeah, totally. All your laundry just smells like somebody else's back pocket. The one they keep their cigs in. I'm tired. Shall we have another card? Shall we? Shall we have another card? You know what? I need to drink some water. Let's do that instead. Thank you. My apologies. I know you didn't tune in to watch me drink water, but it's necessary. Blue Ridge. Blue Ridge. Not Irish. Gosh, what should I do? I've been thinking about Charlie Poole lately. Charlie Poole was a feller from Spray. There are 3 towns called Spray, Draper, and I think Trust, North Carolina. And they were all textile mill towns in the mountains a little bit to the north and east of where I used to live. And the interesting thing about those mill towns were it was difficult to get people to decide, yeah, okay, I'll work in a mill. Like, this was a new concept, and people were like, well, I could just continue, like, growing a paltry amount of corn and slaughtering a hog once a year and live forever, basically, in the woods. Why would I want to come to your sort of smelly, awful town and do the work you tell me to do? Why would I want to do that? Well, the mills had to make it attractive, and so there were all sorts of things, one of them being you get your kids educated, and that was exciting. And they even had music clubs and music lessons. And so Charlie grew up in, a musical environment and a mill environment. And eventually he left the mill town. He was like, this isn't the life for me. And he would just ramble. Charlie Poole and the North Carolina Ramblers went all up and down the mountains and played a lot for bootleggers because it was prohibition. And there was big money in them hills in booze and liquor. So anyway, he recorded a bunch in the 20s, mid-20s, and everyone's a gem, and most of them still have currency in the repertoire today. Here's one about shooting the president. This one's about McKinley, and it's called the White House Blues, and it's in the key of G. McKinley hollered, McKinley squalled. All the doc said, McKinley, I just can't find that ball from Buffalo to Washington. Where the doc came running, pulling on his specs. He said, Mrs. McKinley, better pass in all your checks from Buffalo to Washington. doc came riding, pulling on that horse's mane. He said, come on, you hoss, we gotta outrun this train from Buffalo to Washington. Oh, looky here, you rascal, see what you done. Yes, you shot my husband with that Ivor Johnston gun from Buffalo. Well, looky here, little children, don't you fret. Yes, you'll get a pension now that your daddy's dead from Buffalo. Well, listen here, little children, don't you cry. You will all be angels in for by and by, Buffalo, Washington. In the White House doing his best. Old McKinley's in the graveyard taking of his rest in Buffalo to Washington. Oh, Roosevelt in the White House drinking from a silver cup. Yes, McKinley's in the graveyard just a pushing daisies up from Buffalo. Yeah, Charlie Poole. He was a character, I'm told. There's a great story about him trying to wheedle some money out of his sister. So he's settled down back in the mill town, and he's almost 30, I think. He's going to die in the next year or so. And he's like, little sister, I went to the doctor, and he took a picture of my heart, you know, the way they can. And he showed it to me, and he said, see, here's my heart, and it's all black, all just coal black, except for one little pink spot. And he says it's because of all my drinking. And he says, if you drink any more, and that's why I'm asking you for money now, because I need to get a little bit more so I can turn that last little bit of my heart black. And then I can rest easy. And he did. The moral of the story is don't believe drunks. No. All right. Tell you what, we're not doing Irish. Let's continue doing Charlie Poole tunes. I don't think we've done Ragtime Annie on this program. If you're out there, Keith, this one's for you. Yeah, he did a version of Ragtime Annie. Though I'm not sure he did the third part. So we're going to do a three-part Ragtime Annie. First two parts are in D, and the last part is in G. Ragtime Annie. Slick, man, slick. That's a funny one because that third part where it changes key, a lot of the recordings I've heard of it don't do that third part. So you sort of think, oh, well, maybe it was an add-on later on. But really, that's such a tradition of like old piano rag pieces that you have two parts and then a third part that changes key, usually to the fifth or the relative minor. It's just a standard like piano rag thing to do. So I get the sense that that's the more original version, and it just dropped out because, well, it was a little difficult. Charlie Poole, though, was fancied himself kind of a classical banjo player. That was a thing. So every once in a while, after doing a bunch of hillbilly tunes, he'd be like, "Come on, man, let me record like one of my like banjo standards," And he was good. He was not as genius as some of these guys. But yeah, classical banjo, good stuff. Fancy stuff. Shall we have another card? I think we shall. Ren Fair Anglo, but it's St. Patrick's Day. We can't do English stuff. I mean, it is the. All I meant by saying Anglo on that card is that it's not Mediterranean or German. So yeah, British Isles in general. I could do another Carolyn tune, but I got a better idea. Because this is a song, I might get called upon to do. And the song is not from the Renaissance. It is definitely about the events of 1798, I believe, the uprising. This is The Crappie Boy. It was based on a poem from later, like the 1830s. I'm making this stuff up. I'm sorry. The poem got wrote. It said, "Do this to the tune of," and the tune is called Calino Castarme, which sounds like Italian or something, right? Who knows? Might be Italian. Might actually be just a garbled English rendering of a Gaelic title. And it never gets explained. It's just sort of the nonsense refrain of the early English Elizabethan song. That title actually shows up in a Shakespeare play because in Henry V, one of Harry's ne'er-do-well buddies is in battle, and he's fighting a French gentleman who's like, "All right, cool, man, I want to surrender. I'm surrendering to you." But he's trying to do it in French, and the English guy, the punk, he's like, "What? I don't know French." And he sort of makes fun of the guy. He's like, "Man, French. And what he says is, Calino Castarme, like just, that's how well-known and popular this song was, and the fact that it was nonsense, like that term. Anyway, I'm going to do the tune, and I'm going to sing Crappie Boy, so it's not a Renaissance song, lyric, but the tune was used in like lute tablature. You'll find it. It's in the Fitzwilliam Virginal book, which was a keyboard book. After all that, now I have to actually think of the song. Excuse me. I think we're going to do it in G, so it will start on a D. It was early, all in the spring, The birds did whistle and sweetly sing, changing their notes from tree to tree, and the song they sang was Old Ireland Free. As I was going up Wexford Street, my own first cousin I chanced to meet. My own first cousin did me betray, and for one bare guinea sold my life away. It was early, all in the night. The yeoman cavalry gave me a fright. The yeoman cavalry were my downfall, and a prisoner taken by Lord Cornwall. As I was going up Wexford Hill, och, and who's to blame me if I cried my fill? I looked behind me and I looked before, but my aging mother I shall see no more. As I was mounted on the scaffold high, my aging father I chanced to spy. My aged father did me deny, and the name he gave me was that Croppy Boy. It was in Dungannon that this young man died, and in Dungannon that his body lies. So all good people who do pass by, oh, won't you shed a tear for the Croppy Boy? Yeah. Oh, I do know the words to that one. That's good, right? Oh, it kind of gets you. Betrayal and sadness. Being a rebel. Huh. Yeah, sometimes you can't take them along with you. All right, friends, let's pick another card. And hopefully it'll be Irish because, we've got a show to do here. And it's not. There we go. Northernly. How can I bend this into being an Irish tune? Because honestly, a lot of the Irish repertoire it might have really just died out if it hadn't been for northernly North American cities. Boston, Philadelphia, and New York recorded a ton of Irish tunes in the 20s. The first important compendium of fiddle tunes was made at the turn of the century in Chicago by Francis O'Neill. You can't get much more Irish than him. He was a cop. And actually, an even earlier compendium that happened to have a large segment of Irish tunes was Ryan's Mammoth Collection, put together by Elias Howe in Boston. He was a Boston publisher, and the book is full of Irish tunes, like weird minstrel music hall tunes. Let's do some, actually. Yes, there we go. That's how I'm going to... These are not Irish. These are definitely like music hall, fiddling hornpipes. The first one is the Acrobat. The second one is something called the Democratic Rage hornpipe, which I'm going to play faster because in French Canada, it's known as the Reel de Pêcheur, the fisherman's reel. What else could I possibly say about this? Not much. I have heard Irish bands do the Acrobat, and I assume the other one would fit in nicely. So, here are two Yankee fiddle tunes for St. Patrick's Day. Oh, and I love the acrobat. Apparently, it was used in the circus. Like P.T. Barnum's circus used this tune. Um, yeah. All right.